found the text messages at 2:47 a.m. She had forgotten to log out of her Instagram on my laptop. A notification popped up from someone named Marcus. "Can't wait to see you tonight, beautiful." I clicked. The conversation went back months. Months of good morning texts while I was making her coffee. Months of "I love you" messages while I was planning our future. Months of a double life I never saw coming. I didn't throw the laptop, didn't wake her up screaming, didn't demand explanations that would only be lies anyway. I just sat there in the blue glow of betrayal and felt something inside me die. Not love, trust. The part of me that believed people meant what they said. She was sleeping peacefully in our bed that wasn't really ours anymore. Had it ever been? I closed the laptop, made a mental note of everything that was mine, which wasn't much after 3 years together. Funny how you merge your life with someone only to realize how little actually belongs to you. The next morning, I acted normal, made breakfast, kissed her goodbye, told her I loved her. One last lie for the road. That evening, while she was at work, or with him, I'd never know, I packed a single bag, left my key on the counter next to a note that said, "I know." Nothing else. No accusations, no drama, no begging for explanations I'd never believe anyway. I stayed at a motel for a week, the kind where the carpet has seen too much and the walls are thin enough to hear other people's pain. Seemed fitting. She called 127 times the first day. Each ring felt like a nail in a coffin I was building for the man I used to be. By day 3, I changed my number. People think revenge is about getting even, but real revenge is becoming so unreachable that your absence becomes louder than any words you could have said. I moved 4 hours away, found a job at a small accounting firm, nothing glamorous, nothing that reminded me of the dreams we used to share, just work that paid bills and kept my mind busy. The first month was survival mode. Eat, sleep, works, repeat. I discovered that heartbreak isn't just emotional, it's physical. Your chest actually hurts. Food tastes like cardboard. Sleep comes in fragments. But slowly, something started shifting. I began to like the silence of my studio apartment. No one asking where I was going, no one I had to check in with, no one whose mood I had to manage. I started reading again. Books I'd abandoned because she said they were boring. I took long walks without having to explain where I'd been. I learned to cook for one and found it oddly peaceful. Month 6, I realized I hadn't thought about her in 3 days. That felt like victory. By month 10, I was genuinely happy. Not fake it till you make it happy. Actually content with the life I was building. Alone didn't feel lonely anymore. It felt free. I changed, not just emotionally, but physically. Started working out. Bought clothes that fit better. Got a haircut that made me look like someone who respected himself. Because I finally did. Then month 12 arrived with a knock on my door. I was making dinner, some pasta dish I'd learned from YouTube, when someone knocked. Persistent. Urgent. The kind of knock that says, "I'm not leaving." I opened the door, and there she was. Sarah. The woman who taught me that love and trust were 2 different things. She looked exactly the same, but completely different. Same face, same hair, but something in her eyes was dimmer, like a light that had gone out. "Hi," she said, voice barely a whisper. I didn't invite her in, didn't slam the door either. Just stood there, one hand on the doorframe, waiting. "I've been looking for you for months," she continued, tears already starting. "Your mom finally told me where you were working. I had to see you." Of course, my mother told her. She always liked Sarah. Probably still believed we'd work it out. "I made the biggest mistake of my life," she rushed on. "Marcus meant nothing. It was just excitement, something new, something stupid. I threw away everything real for something fake." She pulled out her phone, showed me screenshots. "Look, I told him it was over. Months ago, the second you left, I knew I destroyed the best thing in my life." I looked at the messages, watched her fingers shake as she scrolled, saw the desperation in her movements, but I felt nothing. Not anger, not satisfaction, not even pity, just nothing. "I know you hate me," she said, crying harder now, "but I had to try. I had to tell you that losing you made me realize what love actually was. You were my person, and I ruined it." Here's what movies don't tell you about moments like this. There's no dramatic music, no sudden clarity, no moment where everything makes sense. There's just a woman on your doorstep, crying over a man who no longer exists. "I don't hate you, Sarah," I said quietly. "I don't feel anything about you at all." That hit her harder than anger would have. Because hate still means you care. Indifference means you've moved on. Please, she whispered. Can we just talk? Get coffee? I know I don't deserve it, but you don't, I interrupted. And neither do I. I looked at her one last time, really looked, and realized I wasn't looking at the woman I used to love. I was looking at a stranger who used to wear her face. I spent a year learning to be happy without you, I said. I'm not giving that up. She nodded through tears, started to turn away, then looked back. Are you happy? She asked. I smiled, not cruel, not kind, just honest. Yeah, I really am. She walked back to her car, drove away, disappeared from my life for the second time. I closed the door, went back to my pasta, and realized something profound. I didn't need closure from her. I'd already found it in myself. The man who loved her was gone. The man who replaced him was better. Some endings aren't about reconciliation. They're about transformation. And sometimes, the best revenge is simply being unreachable.